of the opinion that in the country we have giants, church giants like Adeboye, Oyedepo, and he said if those guys cannot change Nigeria, he can only wait to see what you can do. What do you think about that, or what do you have to say about that? Because you know, with the amount of resources those guys control, the amount of people they control, what will be the difference? Of course, I know many of them, but for probably people who are watching us for the first time, who will be wondering, you are a pastor and probably you've been through the same thing. So if they cannot change Nigeria, what is it that you have that would make you, Dr. Sunday Adelaja, different from them? And they're not just different to say you are going to do just better than them, but to be able to do what they are not even attempting to do.
Let me tell you what. When Oyedepo came on stage and came to Lagos, nobody believed that he would be able to do what he did. And he did it. When Adeboye was just put there in the place of the former GO, everybody was expecting the same thing that the GO and the other GOs had done before him. But he came and left a mark. He did something that nobody has ever done. Kumuyi too. So why is it that people don't think that I will bring my own uniqueness to do something that they too have not done, just like they have been able to do what other people before them have not done? So my own uniqueness is formed from who I am and have been trained to become. I was born in Nigeria, but God gave me unique experiences that those people don't have. No other Nigerian or GO, no other Nigerian GO has the experiences that I have, or the training and preparation that God has given me. Did I choose that? Did I choose to have that unique experience? I didn't. God did. So I've been packaged in a way by God and situation and circumstances that I've become the person I've become. And you see, we are a subtotal of our life's experiences, information, and values. So I have my own unique, distinct experience, information, and value system that have formulated my worldview. So my worldview and philosophy of life is totally different from the worldview and philosophy of life of those people that they are talking about. But from their own worldview and philosophy of life, they have evolved and they have been able to do what they did because that is their own belief system. And their belief system reproduced who they are in the country. But my own belief system is the total adjacent of what they have. And it's going to reproduce the value system and the result that is in line with who I am and what my worldview is and what my philosophy of life is. And what are my philosophy of life? My own philosophy of life is, first of all, the gospel of the kingdom. And the gospel of the kingdom, nobody preaches it in Nigeria, at least that I know of. And even in the world, you can hardly find anybody who preaches the gospel of the kingdom to transform nations. And that's what I've done. That's my experience. And that's my belief system. That's my expertise. That's on one hand. So that belief system and my experience and my worldview could tell you what to expect from me. The same thing, my value system. So what is the value system you see in the people you see on ground? Most of the people you see on ground, their value system is just to take people from earth to heaven, to make them make heaven, and to build their own big ministries. But people who have studied me will see that my own value system is not just to make you go to heaven. I actually believe that you're already in heaven if you are in Christ Jesus. So what we need to do now is to bring heaven to the earth and make the kingdom of God become, to come to the earth as it is in heaven. That's my value system. And I've done it and I've demonstrated that already, which means that, and my value system is not to build my own name and my own ministry, but to build people up, to make sure that everybody can do exactly what I've done. That if anybody has ever done anything in life, and if anybody has ever been successful, that we should make sure that everybody comes to the same level. That I am a ladder to make everybody else come to my level. But that is not the value system that they have. Their own philosophy of life is that they will be the father and then everybody else will be following them and be paying homage to them. Well, so the value system and the worldview and the philosophy of life of each individual produces the kind of result we see in the country. So because they have not, why have they not been able to do what I'm planning to do? Because they have different value system and philosophy of life, and they have different worldview. Their worldview cannot produce what they don't believe, what they don't see. You can only create what you see. So they are seeing different things, and what they see is what they produce. And what I see is what I'm talking about. So it is the content of the individual that determines what they produce and what they can do and they cannot do.
That's quite profound and explicit. So it means that within the confines and the construct of their own worldview, they are successful.
Yes, because that's their worldview and that's what they see, and they are hugely successful. That's why Pastor Oyedepo, for example, is bragging that he is very successful. Everything works here in our Canaan land. We have 24 hours electricity. We have water. Nobody is as rich as me. I'm the richest pastor in the world. Why? That is this worldview. That's exactly what he wanted to achieve. And he achieved what he wanted to achieve. Look at Pastor Adeboye, for example. He wants to have churches in everywhere, littered everywhere, and he's successful in it. That's exactly what he does. Because whatever they do is an indication or expression of their worldview. And they are very successful in line with their belief systems. So why can't they do what I'm thinking? Because they are not thinking that direction. It's not their belief system. But in the area of their belief system and worldview, they are hugely successful. They are the best in the world. All of them are having the worldview of building big church. And they have huge churches. That is their worldview. So the problem is with the belief system and the worldview.
So there's a power within a man who can believe something. But the question is, what does the man believe?
Do you believe the right thing? Do you believe in the way God believes? Are you believing exactly the same thing that heaven is believing?
Maybe that's why the country is not changing, because you find individual successes in different places. You find sometimes even a small group of community that are successful in different places, but nobody is thinking about the nation. There's nobody who is running with the worldview of the nation. Maybe this is the same reason why politicians are successful only for themselves. They get to the pinnacle of their career. Career people, business people, they get there, but nobody has the worldview of making the life of somebody else better.
I think, let me try to put it in a better way. In Nigeria, everybody believes in being successful and being rich. Yeah. That is the value system.
Yeah.
And that's the value system, and that's the worldview. Everybody you see in Nigeria wants to be successful, and that means rich as well, including the politicians. Yes. So politics is the platform for them to be successful. Businessmen is business. Pastors is religion. But that is not what my worldview is about. My own worldview is that I am only as successful as the poorest person and as the last person in my community, in my area. So if my success is defined by the success of my environment, then I have to make my environment successful so that I'm not defined as the only successful person. But in my country, they want to be successful so that other people might clap for them. But me, I want to make other people successful, then call myself successful only to the extent that I've made my environment successful. But they want to define their own success and through their own personal achievement. That's why you have that all over Nigeria. It's a national psyche of the nation that must be altered and changed. So that is where that is all coming from.
So it means if there could be some sort of rejigging of mindset, where we can give everybody the mindset of community to say, I'm as successful as my immediate community. Maybe that way, even you might not be needed, because people will be
everybody will be taking the same way. So we will not need one person. And that's why I need to sell that to the whole country. By the time, that's why I wrote the book about the elite. What do we call the book about?
Role of elite in nation building.
The role of elite in nation building. Yeah. So that's why I want the whole elite of our country to change. If we could get everybody to change, then I'm not needed. Everybody is doing the same thing everywhere.
Is this
because
why?
The mindset that we have embraced now is what everybody is doing. Everybody is practicing the mindset that is on the ground. So if we could succeed in changing the value system that is on ground, then you change the country. That's why the nations are not great because of their money or their it's their values.
You say nations are not great by the virtues of their riches, but by the riches of their virtues.
Yeah, but we do it, I call it wealth. Anyway, I was not using the quotation fully, I was just trying to quickly.
So my question, sir, is this why you have now said that for even people to work with you on this project, they must go through?
I don't need them if they would not be, first of all, regenerated. If they would not, first of all, change their mindset and remake themselves and rebuild themselves to embrace the other value system that is defined by the success of another man rather than by the success of his person.
So when someone doesn't change his mind now, comes into your and wants to come into your team, it's going to be more of a
hindrance.
Yes. Instead of being an asset, it will be a liability. Because it will be conflicting with the mindset that the stuff is running with. The old project.
He will be doing the same thing we want to change. He will be standing on the way.
Maybe it's because of this same mindset that people averagely do not believe that anyone could be altruistic without some sort of self-interest, some ulterior motive. There has to be something. Maybe you want to contest for 2023. You are planning ahead. Is that what it is?
For me personally,
no,
I'm not even interested in politics at all. I think politics or going to contest and be a politician is a demotion for me. A lot of people that want to be politicians, they are not speaking their mind. They cannot speak their mind that I'm speaking because they have been careful to tread carefully and
be politically correct.
To be politically correct, not to offend some people. But I have my liberty and I want to keep that liberty. Wow. Hello everybody, DSA here. I would like us to spread this word together. Let the gospel of the kingdom conquer the world. We only need you to help us take 5 simple steps. What are these steps? 1, go ahead and like the video, please, if you have not yet done that. Number 2, we need you to subscribe to this channel. Have you yet subscribed? You not yet done it? Go do it now. Number 3, you need to press and click on that bell. You see the bell there? That will give you notification of every video that we do. Then the next thing you need to do, write your comments. Let's know what you think, good or bad. And then, of course, you have other platforms like Instagram, like Facebook. Share this video on your other platforms. All right? Let's win the world for Christ.